Ooh, I don't think I could do carnivore. It's way too restrictive and it's too much sacrifice. Has that ever been your thought? I'm Jackie Almer. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Leave me a comment below and let me know if you've ever had these thoughts and if you're trying carnivore, and grab my guide at lowertoxiclife.com. Now, for a lot of people, I hear that, gosh, carnivore just seems so restrictive. All you can do is eat meat. And I'm here to say, no, not entirely, not in any way, shape, or form. The thing of it is, most people come to carnivore because they're dealing with some type of issue and they've tried a lot of other things and those things have not worked for them. Maybe it's weight loss and they've struggled with every diet known to man, every way of eating that's out there. They've yo-yo dieted and their weight has done all of this too. So a lot of people come for weight loss. But I really truly find that far more people come to deal with issues such as carbohydrate and sugar addictions, to break that pattern of food noise that's out there where their mind is constantly desiring more sugar or ultra processed foods or different things like that. So there's weight loss. There's definitely food addictions that people come to, but there's also so many people that are having chronic health issues. They have high blood pressure. They have liver disease, fatty liver disease that's non-alcohol related. So much of that has to do with sugar and ultra processed foods and all of those type things. And if you do some research into the number of kids today, young kids who have fatty liver disease, you'll know that it's not all alcohol related. So there's, muscle and joint issues. There's inflammation, brain fog, sleep issues. There's so many different things that bring people to carnivore. Anxiety, I hear that as such a big one. And so as we begin this process, for me, I decided that my chronic health issues, which had to do with joint pain and inflammation, digestive and elimination issues, and some brain fog, honestly, most of the issues that I was experiencing, I had associated to perimenopause and menopause. And I've got a video right here where I show the differences in what I now know was one of my problems, which was oxalate dumping, which getting into the carnivore diet just really, brought to the forefront, but in a good way, because my body does need to detox from all of those stored things that are in my body, and I need to let those go. So the reality of it is, while it can seem restrictive, one of the first things that I like to remind people is, what is your goal? What is your why? And what are the problems that you're dealing with? How restrictive are those? How much are you sacrificing now in order to keep eating the way that you're eating and experiencing these chronic health issues? I tend to look at carnivore or any type of shift like this where you're not popping a pill for something as delayed gratification. And it's worth it to me. I like to say I allow 1 month for every year that I was not adhering to a great style of eating, or even if I thought I was eating well with all these superfoods like chia seeds and sweet potatoes and almond flour and almond butters and nuts and lots of legumes and leafy green vegetables, all of those were ultimately killing me. So I thought I was eating well, but it turns out I wasn't benefiting from those nearly like food science wanted me to believe. But what I found with carnivore is ultimately it becomes less restrictive because it gives you such food freedom. You will hear that term a lot associated with carnivore. Food freedom. So what is that exactly? Well, it frees you in so many ways. It makes the trip to the grocery store super, super simple. By the way, you can grab my simple shopping guide. Just go to lowertoxiclife.com, drop in your name and email, and you'll get back my beginner's guide to all of this that includes my carnivore shopping list, so that it makes going to the grocery store super simple. So it gives you food freedom in the sense that you can be in and out of the grocery store in no time. That also equates to time freedom. It gives you food freedom because you can sit and build out a pretty simplified capsule meal plan, as I like to call it, of exactly what you're going to eat or what foods fall on that. And then from that, you can pick and choose how you're going to mix those up. Now, the other food freedom of it is we basically eat from a few simple food groups. Animal protein, that can be fresh or canned in some cases, canned salmon, canned sardines, pork rinds. Those aren't canned, but pork rinds and that type thing. And then we have dairy for those who can tolerate dairy. I happen to be one of those, so I do full fat yogurt and with good fermentation and a lot of different things like that. I do whole cream that I'll put in my bulletproof coffee when I treat myself to that, or I'll mix it with my eggs to scramble them and make them fluffy. Then I also do raw milk kefir, which is fermented and helps my gut and helps some of my issues. And then a whole variety of cheeses. So I've got my meat category, I've got my cheese and dairy category, and then I have eggs. And then that just really gives me such food freedom. I can look at that and I can say, wow, I can make frittatas, I can make quiche, I can make little quiche muffins, I can do, meat bowls, and then a little bit of carnitas with pork, and then maybe some chicken and top it with bacon and some cheese. And that's a fabulous Mexican type bowl. So there's so many fun things that you can do that give me food freedom. They give me time freedom because I don't have to sit and think, oh, what sides should I serve today with the food or any of that type. It gives me time freedom with social events because often now I will eat before I go to a social event, and then I'll just kind of pick and choose off a charcuterie board or something that fits into the carnivore way of eating. I'm very particular. I will not cheat or go off of things just because I'm in a social setting or I feel that I have to. So I just really release myself from any of that. And then the ultimate food freedom comes from the releasing of sugar and sweets and carbohydrate addictions. We have fallen back so far on rewarding everything in the world with sugar. Think about what happens with our kids in school. They pass a test, they get a little candy bar, they do this. We have an entire holiday devoted to it, Halloween, right? Just sugar and sweets. And meanwhile, we just keep getting sicker and sicker and fatter and more anxious. So for me, the short-term sacrifice of trying carnivore and this way of eating is so far beyond any type of other sacrifice that I might experience. Eating in this way teaches us simplicity. It teaches us gratitude. If you begin to just be grateful for the way that this food is assimilating into your body, for the animals that grew and hopefully frolicked in the field before they sacrificed for you and I. But again, that's just a big part of the circle of life to me. This style of eating promotes better focus, whether it's focus on the person that you're having dinner with because you're not so consumed with what's on the plate if you've cooked, or consumed with, eating. If you're at a party or social event, you can really focus on the person in front of you and really giving your attention there. And then also for me, as my brain fog has cleared, the focus and productivity that it's given me has just been off the charts. And I cannot express how grateful I am truly for that, because I was starting to feel like I have lost the plot on really living the type of life that I saw myself living in the last phase of my life, with grown kids and an empty nest and traveling and really seeing the world and doing all the things that I wanted to do. So that food noise is gone. Those addictions to anything are gone. And I have to say, I don't find carnivore to be at all restrictive or too much sacrifice. What are your thoughts? Subscribe to the channel, drop your comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on this. Grab my guide at lowertoxiclife.com, and I will see you on the next video.